Good morning. Well, it's week before Christmas. A Sunday before Christmas. 5 days to go. This is Norfolk, and we're still in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic. Our Prime Minister Boris Johnson has just announced that parts of the country are going into a very high tier of lockdown. It's been like that off and on the whole year. So it's been a difficult year for everyone. It's actually been a rotten year for me too. It's what this video is about a little bit. So it's been a difficult year from the start, prior coronavirus, with various business issues. So how's 2019 been for me? Well, there's been all sorts of crap. There have been business issues, both concerning COVID and not concerning COVID. Then there was COVID. Then my uncle died, which meant I had to travel in the middle of lockdown 1. Thankfully I had the bike to travel on, so that gave me, a little bit of it's not a respite, but something to concentrate on during that journey. Then my daughter was sick. Then in about end of October, I got a phone call from the nurses who've been caring for my mother. She's been ill for quite some time, but she took a turn for the worse, and they felt her condition was now terminal. And, and could I come to Norfolk to visit her? As I thought she only had a few days left. So I travelled down to Norfolk from the West Midlands, 180 miles, to find my mother sick in bed. I chose to come on the bike. My reason for coming on the bike is, well, for me, you have to focus 100% of the time when riding. And that meant I wasn't focusing on the reason for travelling down. My mind could be, if you like, distracted by the bike ride. So I travelled down, saw my mum. My mum, incidentally, is 86 years old, or at the time was 86 years old. I had reason to travel down about 3 more times as she first of all stabilised and then deteriorated. The travel was always great, on the bike. As I said, my mind was focused here on the road, on the bike. It was a bit of a cathartic process riding the bike. Staying down here was problematic. Hotels weren't taking bookings, so that was a problem. The last trip on the bike down here was a bit of a rush. I got a call Sunday morning from my father to tell me he thought my mum had passed away. I'd only left the day before, and here I was having to come back to Norfolk. Here I was having to come back to Norfolk 12 hours later because my mum had passed away. Again, I took the bike. Cathartic process for me. Also, the bike's not going to get held up by traffic jams. So I got from West Midlands to Norfolk, double quick time. The bike, faultless the whole time. When it was cold, when it was wet, when it was warm, as some of November was, it was great riding. So that trip was terrible. And now come to the reason for this trip. Well, twofold. First of all, I had to really come down and see my dad, who's all alone for the first time in, well, probably the first time in his life at Christmas. Certainly he was married to my mum for 64 years. So I had to come down, see him, bring a Christmas present, give him a bit of reassurance, make sure he's doing okay. And the second reason is my mum's ashes were ready for collection. Now my mum, bless her, she loved the motorbikes. I came back to biking a few years ago. She loved to hear about my ride, she loved to hear what I was doing. She'd often call me up in the morning and say, "So, Andrew, where are we going on the bike today?" It wasn't we, it was just me. But she was with me in spirit. She watched my videos on YouTube, she loved it. In the last few weeks, when I came down on the bike, she'd always want to know, is the bike outside? Make sure as I leave I, hoot the horn or rev the engine. She loved the idea of the motorbikes. So, the problem was, she never got to ride on a motorbike. Much as she would have loved to, she was too frail. And it just never happened. Until yesterday. Yesterday, I went to the funeral home and I picked up my mum's ashes. I put her in the top box of the bike and I took her for a ride. It wasn't a long ride, but I took her for a ride. A little bit of twisty, and I also managed to help Mum join the Ton Up Club. And I hope if she's up there, or wherever there is, I hope she enjoyed it. I hope she looked down when she was with me on that ride, because I know she would have enjoyed it. So that was kind of, I guess, one of the most important rides I've done. And what I want to say to everybody out there is, in these difficult times, is that you're not prevented from riding your bikes. You are prevented from socialising, so let's not meet in groups. But riding the bike is a process that can clear the mind of your worries, your concerns, of all those things that must be mounting up in this difficult 2020. I know it's worked for me, and I'd like to think the same thing can work for you. Get out there, ride your bikes, don't be stupid. Don't put your bikes away for the winter. I mean, look at today. It's 9 degrees, but it is only 10:15 in the morning, but it's 9 degrees, it's sunny, the roads are drying. Your bikes won't rust away. There's some great riding to be had at this time of the year. There's less traffic on the roads. Just get out there, have a ride, enjoy yourself, come back, come home, give the bike a wash. The whole process just clears the mind. and it keeps you as a rider on top of your skills. It stops you getting rusty, so that hopefully when the new year comes, or at some point in the new year, when either this pandemic goes or the panic surrounding the pandemic goes, and we return to normality, we can get out there, we can ride, we can enjoy ourselves, and get out on those roads and do more miles than you've ever done before. So, from Gatsby Biker at Motorvelo, I'd like to wish you all a really, really very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, and all the best for what I hope to be a better, safer, pandemic-free 2021. Bye from me.